Ever since the beginning of Call of the Wild, we've always wondered the mysteries of how respawns actually work. Whether or not we should take down the big bucks and then hopefully get a big buck as a respawn, or take down the small bucks and hopefully they come back as a bigger buck. We never really knew, and we never really shot the does because we always thought the does came back as does. Well, up until about 10 hours ago, that's exactly what I believed. But now, my entire perception has changed on how the respawns actually work, and I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about. What we just found is kind of hard to explain, but this is actually the second time that we've came to this spot. Pay attention to this location, pay attention to the surroundings, and pay attention to this spot. Now in this case here, we have only does in this herd. We actually have 4 whitetail does here. So what I want to try and do is take down every single one of these does, no matter how we hit them or where we hit them. If I can set up a tripod here, that'd be pretty cool too. All right, that'll definitely work out. And now we're looking at probably close to 380 yards. But again, we want to try and take down every single one of these does here. I think that shot might have been a little bit high, but we should be able to get one more follow-up here. Oh, I don't know about that. And here's a couple of does that we took from before. Got one piled up right here, and another one about 10 yards away. Right lung shot at 340, and then we got this one right here. Left lung shot at 350. I think that might be it. We took another shot over here, so I'm definitely gonna check. But I would have been totally a vital hit? No way! How in the heck do we make that shot? That was running through the brush at about 360 yards, and somehow we connected on that shot. Alright, so you guys all just saw what happened yesterday. There was about 5 or 6 does out there, and we took down 3 of them. We only found 2. 1 disappeared. Now we changed the time probably like 6 different times, and we came back the next day in this exact same spot, and this is the present time. So yeah, the last shot that we took, I didn't actually show you. But anyways, I'm going to do a flashback here in a little bit, and I'm going to show you this exact location so you can see what I'm talking about. No, we don't need a tripod. We're just going to try and take down 3 of these bucks out here at about 330 yards. We're definitely going to reload though, because we need all the bullets that we can. And we're going to crouch down, and we're going to take down the biggest buck first, and then that buck second. That's one way to do it. Now you might think it's kind of a coincidence. Yeah, we took down 1 herd of whitetail does and they all came back as bucks. But guess what? The same exact thing happened in another spot. It happened maybe a couple hours after we took down those does. I went to a spot where maybe like a week ago, there was like 15 does out there, and I thought, you know what? We're gonna take down every single doe that we possibly can. And I just unloaded. I shot like 2 different clips into those suckers. And when I went over there about a week later, I kicked up 4 different bucks in a spot where there was no bucks. And I'm telling you, I went there several times, and every single time all I saw was does. So I thought, man, this spot just isn't very good anymore. It's only gonna have does. Well, I guess we figured out something pretty important here. Take a look at that. 3 incredible bucks here. 1 absolute giant whitetail. Probably gonna be like a 220s plus or something like that. But anyways, let's take a really cool picture of him. And let's pick him up. That's actually a 216 gold. We double lunged him at 344 yards. Let's take a look at that shot there. Smoked him right behind the front shoulder. But my point is, this whole entire herd here was only does yesterday. And now, as you can see, we got bucks. And not only bucks, we got good bucks. And I mean good bucks. Let's pick up this buck as well. A 192. That was almost a gold as well. Double lunged him, so that's 3 double lung shots at 350 yards. And they're all whitetail bucks. That's a good buck out there. But this next spot that we're going to go to is a spot where I only had does. That should take him down. This spot here, I'll show you on the map. I only had does here for the longest time. And now I went back there maybe like 4 days ago. And there was like 4 bucks in that herd. So that's pretty impressive. To go from all does to 4 different bucks. And there go the bucks. That's a really good buck right there. And I mean, honestly, all those bucks are pretty nice. But yeah, this entire herd was all whitetail does. It's gonna be a tough shot, but that buck should slow down here. Yeah, he did. And so did that one. And maybe we could get one more. I got a hit into him, but I should take him down. Nonetheless, those are all really good bucks that came in a spot where there was nothing but does for the longest time. And people might be wondering, well, maybe you just didn't see the bucks. No, I ran through here so many times and I even checked the tracks and they're only doe tracks. And I thought for the longest time, well, should I just not shoot them and maybe a buck will come eventually? No, nothing happened. And then one day I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna shoot every single one of them. And I shot as many as I could. I think I shot like 5 or 6 of them out of maybe like 8 or 9. And now there's only like 2 does and 4 bucks. But here's both of our bucks. We'll grab this one first. Stomach double lung shot at a 171. But then this is going to be our biggest buck here, and that's going to be a 223 left lung liver stomach at 195 yards. So here's this buck here. I bet we hit him kind of lower in the shoulder. If I would have held a little bit higher, we probably would have smoked him. Let's see. Yeah, just a hair too low, but a 168. And then we got this buck here. We took him at about 350. I'm hoping he didn't disappear, because I always forget about that. I'm so not used to that. He disappeared. We got a bunch of whitetails coming through here, and we're in a tripod right now, so we're gonna try and take down as many as we can, including that big buck right there, and then there's the other buck. Actually, I probably shouldn't take this shot, because unless we absolutely smoke him, which that should have been a spinal cord double lung shot, but it wasn't. All these bucks here are gonna run out of render distance and disappear unless we smoke them, which I think that buck might have dropped right there. Obviously before the bug happened we definitely would have gotten all of those, but right now it's a little bit more complicated. Am I seeing deer way out there? Are those does? Sure, all whitetail does out there. So what do we do when this happens? We take down as many as we can. But in this case, we can only take down 2 because we just shot over there and we don't want to lose this zone. So we'll definitely take down 2. Give me a neck shot at least. Come on. That should take her down at least. And that's kind of cool. We got a bunch of mallard ducks in this tiny little pothole here. You know how many times I've wanted to go to these little potholes and hunt out of them? And they never had ducks in them. So the fact that there's actually ducks in them now is pretty cool. So here's the big buck. Took him on the trot at 300 yards out and double lunged him 217. Now that one should be our biggest buck that we've seen in the last 3 days, or ever since we've started the Great One grind. That should be, if I don't jinx it, it should be like a 235 plus whitetail buck. He's perfectly broadside at about 280 yards out. And we smoked him. So here's kind of what I think you should do. If you find a nice herd of whitetail bucks, definitely take down the big bucks first and then take down the medium and the smaller bucks, but don't take out your entire zone. However, if you have an entire herd of only whitetail does, I would just take down as many as you possibly can, because it seems like the does are definitely coming back as whitetail bucks. In fact, it doesn't even seem like that anymore. It is like that. So here's this buck, perfect heart shot at 266 on 189. is yes, in fact, he is going to be a 238.5 gold whitetail buck, and he is our biggest whitetail buck of the entire time since we started the Great One grind. And ended up pulling off a perfect quartering away double lung shot at 283 yards. But yeah, I feel like we should probably get him mounted just because he is our biggest buck so far. And that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found it helpful, and get out there and shoot as many does as you possibly can, because right now there's a really good chance it's going to come back as a big buck. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.